Mr. Mike Tyson was recently interviewed on T.I.'s podcast. And among other things, Mike said that his kids are not attracted to black people. And he blames himself, saying that he set a bad example as a black man based on his checkered past. So, do you think that their choice for partners is related on Mike failing as a parent?
Huh?
Wait, what?
Say that question again.
Okay. Mike has decided that basically his kids rock with people who are not black romantically
because he dates people that aren't black.
No, because he was a bad
example
of a black man.
man.
But I feel like, well, no, like you had money and they went to white schools, so it's a proximity thing.
Yeah.
So their environment?
Environment.
I took this completely differently. I took this completely differently. Wow, that's, when you said checkered, I just, wow. Okay, so I thought this was saying that, like, he thought that because he's dated women outside of his race, that maybe his children
you were thinking
saw
black
that.
and white, like checkerboard?
Yes!
Like a
Leave me alone! It's early in the morning. Okay, so there was that part. So I was like, damn, I started thinking to myself, looking at the people that I've dated and also recognizing who my mother has dated or who my father has dated, I don't think that this has a reflection. Like, I'm curious. I want to ask Jeannie. Jeannie, your mom clearly has only been with Asian men, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you don't just date Asian. I know.
No.
That's where I was going
yes,
with it. So.
but here's what I'm thinking for specifically Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was such a big star when I was growing up, 80s, 90s, year 2000. I remember huge breaking news about his relationship with Robin Givens and like and the abuse. And then I remember a lot of hostile interviews where if he didn't like the way a reporter was dealing with them, he'd pop off in a very violent way and owned how violent he was, owned that he could beat somebody's butt, owned what he thought of women. And just recently, when he came out with his book, he had an interview with Big Boy where he was very humorously having a bet about how many STDs he had. They were at number 25, and he was like, keep going, it's higher. So I'm just saying, for me, if anything, if you are raised by a father, I don't know their schooling and all that, but if you're raised by a father who is constantly abusive, in the news for having wrecked relationships, and have many charges against him for having, you know, not been able to contain his temper, I would have a problem with men in general.
Yeah,
because
not
my
the
example of a
race.
father is, an example of men has to start with my father.
Yeah.
So I would start there. And then number two, though, the thing is I focused on how self-aware he is at this time, because he's never been the guy to own his actions. So if anything, if he's starting to take a responsible look at what it's caused his kids, I think he needs to start there, because anybody who's going to prove that not all black men are like that, it's going to be him by owning what he's done in his past history.
Well, let me say, I don't think he speaks for all black men.
Of
he was
course.
speaking for himself.